Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. Burnley versus Arsenal match preview. We are back again, and I am very confident. To say that I'm confident is actually quite an understatement. Now, even after losing to Fulham and West Ham in December, I still actually tweeted out like in the beginning of January, and I said, "Listen, we are still going to be in a title race, and maybe we're actually going to win it at the end of the season." And most people are like, "Nah, I mean, we've just lost to Fulham and West Ham. We really needed to beat Liverpool and all that." That was the game for me. Like, if we had not won against Liverpool, then things would have been hard. But after beating Liverpool and beating West Ham, I'm even more confident that you're going to be there until the end of the season. But we have to keep on winning. Can we finally get our fifth win in a row for the first time this season? I've waited for the whole season. Last season we were able to do it 2-3 different occasions. We won 5+ games in a row. There's a time like February or March we won like 7 or something crazy like that. At first chance to make it 5 wins in a row for the first time this season. Our opponents, it's Burnley. Now, I don't expect Burnley to be, as easy as the game against West Ham. The Premier League is weird, You could beat a top 6 team 8-0 today, and then tomorrow you face the bottom team and you're going to struggle against them. It's not going to be easy. But quick question for you guys. I'll come to the lineup later, but quick question for you guys right away. Who would you rest any players for this game? Because after this, we have FC Porto in the Champions League on Wednesday. It's going to be an away game. And then next weekend, we have Newcastle. Would you rest any player, or would you just play everyone and take this game? I'm still taking the game seriously, but I'm saying, like, would you rest at least one player for the Champions League and for the Premier League game against Newcastle next week? Or do you think we can get the job done early and then you sub them off early like we did against West Ham last weekend? Let me know. So Burnley. I watched them the last couple of weeks. They played against Man City and against Liverpool. Those 2 games, they lost 3-1 in both. They scored a goal. They should have scored 3 goals against Liverpool. I think they should have had at least 2 goals against Man City. And the time we played them at the Emirates Stadium, we also beat them by 3-1. So they usually tend to score. But there's been some other games where they've been battered, like against Tottenham at home. But this season, Burnley, at home, they've lost to Man United, to Man City, to Tottenham, to Chelsea, and Chelsea actually battered them there, scored 4, I think 4. Tottenham scored 5 there as well. So all of them have battered Burnley at their place. Now, one of the reasons why I'm really looking forward to this game, apart from the fact that we've just won a bunch of games in a row, is the fact that Burnley are not going to come and defend. Burnley love to, attack. Like last week against Liverpool, they were really attacking. They were creating like a chance every 2-3 minutes at some point in that game. And if we do that against Arsenal, we really enjoy such kind of games. Like, for example, PSV at home in the Champions League, Lens at home as well in the Champions League. Those teams where they're open and try to attack, we really enjoy playing against those teams. And if Burnley do that, I'll really be looking forward to that game. But I predicted earlier this season when I was doing my predictions that Burnley would be like 11th or something. I was very, very wrong. They've really struggled. They didn't change their approach. They went with the attacking football, and the Premier League, you're going to be punished. There's some games you have to play defensively and some games you can attack. But when you play against these top teams, I don't think you can outscore them. You'll really need to defend, whether it means playing some boring football and playing with the back 5 or back 6, you're going to need to do that sometimes. But Burnley don't really do that. Burnley prefer to attack you and try to get goals against you. I think that will benefit us a lot in this game. Now, I don't think they're going to be as bad as Burnley, as bad as West Ham, sorry. But then again, if you think about it, yes, West Ham were bad, but I don't agree with the pundits and all those guys saying, yeah, West Ham were bad, Liverpool were bad, and Arsenal were not good, really that good. That's what they say. No. To keep West Ham down to 1 shot on target and Liverpool down to 1 shot on target, and the number of touches those teams have in our box is very, very the number is very, very tiny. The number is very small. The number of touches they have in our box is crazy. So in a game like this against Burnley, it could go either way. It could go, obviously, Burnley have a few chances and they actually end up scoring, or we could just play our game and Burnley don't have a touch in our box for the whole game and we don't even expect us to concede a goal at all. These days, watching Arsenal is just amazing, man. Like, I watch Arsenal knowing the other team will not even get a chance, leave alone scoring. I watch them and I'm like, yeah, they're not going to get a chance. Rice is there, Saliba is there, Gabriel is there, White. Like, they did not get a chance to pass us. And such a good thing to have. That's why we have the best defensive record at the moment. Before the Dubai break, we were like number 7 in terms of scoring goals, but now we've just scoring 5 against Palace, 6 against West Ham. We've been able to climb that, and it's only Man City and Liverpool who've scored more goals than us. And if we get like 3+ against Burnley, there's a huge opportunity that we'll be at least second in terms of goals scored this season and overtake one of them. So it's a really, really great time. We are scoring goals, and on top of that, we are defending well. We are scoring from set pieces. We are scoring open play goals, counter-attack goals. We're scoring from outside the box. Saka is scoring. Martinelli is scoring. Trossard is scoring. Even Rice is scoring. The defenders are scoring. And if Havertz adds to those goals as well, and Odegaard starts scoring regularly as well, I think we'll definitely be there. And starting with this game, it's a little bit different from the West Ham game because first of all, we have a Champions League game coming up. After we played West Ham, we had a full week's break, so we could just play full throttle in that game. But in this game, depends. If we get a comfortable lead and stuff, I think some players or many players would actually be subbed off ahead of that FC Porto game. That I'd be happy if we go there and win the first leg and have small little pressure in the second leg. So Burnley have conceded 50 goals this season. So that gives me even more confidence that you're going to get the job done here. But which team is going to get the job done in this game? This would be the starting lineup for me. So obviously in goal, David Raya, no surprises there. What about the back four? Now Tomiyasu is available for this one. Zinchenko is facing a late fitness test as well. So all of them could be there. But for me, I wouldn't start any of them. This would be my backline: Kivio, Gabriel, Saliba, and Ben White. Saliba is the only player to play every single game for us in the Premier League this season, every single minute. He's not missed a single minute. I think Rice has played every single game, but he's been subbed off a couple of times. Saliba's always been there for 90 minutes every single game. So I would keep him. There's a part of me that was thinking, can we rest Saliba for this one, play Ben White as a centre back, and maybe start Tomiyasu on the right side? But I decided, no, I'm going to go with this one: Kivio, Gabriel, Saliba, Ben White, and then I'll tell you what I'd do later if we have a comfortable lead. Midfield-wise, that is where I'd make one change. If you remember against Crystal Palace, Declan Rice went off with an injury, but since then, obviously, I played against Nottingham, Liverpool, and also West Ham recently. But we have such a busy period coming up, no easy games. And during the international break, you'd expect him to go for the international break as well and play both games for England. So for me in this game, for the first time this season, I'd dress Declan Rice. I'd play Jorginho, who played really well against Liverpool. And then in front of him, I'd play Odegaard and Havertz. Now, I was thinking Smith Rowe. I wanted Smith Rowe to really start this game, but he's coming off an injury, and I don't know how fit he is going to be in this game. So I've decided to go for Havertz in this one. If Smith Rowe was there last week, I'd start him in this one. Or if he was 100% fit, I'd start him for this one. But again, another thing is you don't want to change the whole team because there's an understanding there already with the likes of Havertz and Odegaard and those guys that have been playing together every week. If you change everything and you bring in Nelson, Jorginho, Smith Rowe, not so sure about that. But if you're bringing one player, I wouldn't mind to see if Rice is starting. I wouldn't mind to see seeing Smith Rowe starting as well. But for me, I will go for that as my midfield. And then the front line, I was also thinking of making changes. Jesus could be back for this one, but this is the front line I've gone for. The same: Saka, Martinelli, Trossard. Let them go out there again. Let them get a couple of more goals. And then if you have a 2-goal lead, 3-goal lead by halftime, why not sub off Saka at halftime, Martinelli a bit later as well. But if you get the job done early, I want all those front three players to be out of the game. There's a lot of players we can bring off the bench. And speaking of the bench, I would go, obviously the bench will be the usual: Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, Cedric, El Neni, Rice, Smith Rowe, Nelson, Ketia, and Gabriel Jesus if he's back. If he's not back, then maybe Nwaneri on the bench. But the ideal event is, get 3 goals in the first half, have a comfortable lead, potentially take off Saka at halftime, bring Nelson. I've realized Nelson has actually not started a game this season, so give him 45 minutes if possible, and then 60th minute he's still comfortable in the game. Potentially bring in, obviously, definitely bring on Smith Rowe if he's there. Take off Martinelli or Havertz and stuff like that. So Odegaard or any of them. Just give some game time to Smith Rowe, Nelson, Ketia, El Neni, and maybe even Cedric again. Why not? Back-to-back appearances. But if you get a comfortable lead, I don't want to see Martinelli on the pitch, Saka, Trossard, Saliba. At least take all four of them out and then decide between Odegaard and White who to take off. But that would be my starting lineup. I've given Declan Rice a rest. The chances of Declan Rice resting are very slim. I think he prefers him starting and then going off, and I think Declan Rice would want to start as a player who always wants to start every single game. But between Rice, Saliba, and Saka, I'd want to see at least one of them resting. Like Guardiola does it with his team. Like some games De Bruyne does not play, Foden does not play, or Haaland does not play, and then he gives someone else on the bench. And I'd like to imagine at least if you make one change, the player coming off the bench is not terrible. Like we can bring on starting Tomiyasu, for example, ahead of Ben White for this game. That's not a bad change. Starting Smith Rowe in midfield, that would not be a bad change. Even starting Jorginho in midfield, starting not a bad change. Starting Nelson, I don't think it's a calamitous change or anything like that. But that is my starting lineup. What about my predictions? So hit the like button if you're enjoying the daily videos. I'm going to go for, we scored 6 against West Ham, we scored 5 against Palace, we scored 3 against Liverpool. The one scoreline we haven't gotten is 4 goals, so I'm going to go for Arsenal to score 4 goals in this game. But I'm going to actually give Burnley a goal. There's a huge chance we're going to get a clean sheet, but I feel like with the attacking enthusiasm and stuff and the attacking threat, I'd say their willingness to attack, they might end up with a goal somewhere. So especially if we rotate in the second half and stuff, they might end up scoring. So I'm going to go with the 4-1 Arsenal win. Let me know your prediction. Do you expect us to keep another clean sheet? We've kept the most clean sheets this season. That would be absolutely wonderful, absolutely incredible as always, but another must win. 5 wins in a row, that would be perfect heading to the Champions League against Porto and Newcastle next up. After that, it's Sheffield United, then Brentford. Some really, really good fixtures coming up. So let me know your prediction. Let me know your starting lineup. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.